So as it has been written here, cell formatting only changes the look of data and does not change the data itself. So in Excel, when you are entering data, you can't just enter the data just like that. You have to at least beautify it, do it in such a way that it looks presentable, it looks readable, and you can use it in your analysis or whatsoever. So I on my screen I have data here which hasn't been formatted. It's just in a raw state, and we are going to apply the the all the kinds of formatting that we have. But before that, some of us have even used Word before. Even if you haven't used it before, you can at least relate. We have something called bold, italic, all these things. When we apply to text, it changes the look of the text. It doesn't change what the text or the value of the text. And so we are going to apply the same thing here. It is also in Excel. It is not only in Word, but we have. Now this is how the Ghana cities, the currency looks like. You see Ghana cities and then the value. And I've selected the thousand separator, so you can see comma. And I've left it in two decimal places, so you can see 00 at the end. So if there's a coins, 50 pesos or whatever, you see it at the end. Now let me do the sale price in accounting. So right click, go to format sales, go to accounting. Let's still leave it two decimal places. Let's select Ghana cities and then okay. Okay. Now there are two different things here. I want to ask the house, what are the differences between, or what is the difference between the accounting formatting and then the currency formatting? What are you seeing? Now let's go to another cell formatting. Uh, let's go to right click, format cells. Now with alignment, we are done with the number. So the number formatting, please, you just play around it. Um, and then if there's any issue, you let us know. With the alignment, we have the horizontal alignment and then the vertical alignment. So here it deals with the alignment of the text. And we are going to, I'm going to do it for you to see it here. Okay. So horizontal alignment, when you click on this arrow,
I want
all
to
right.
find out if you have, let's say, the number of rooms. You get me?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
on that column, you want to add, let's say, an alphabet. Let's say A to all three bedrooms. Is there a way to customize it to suit that? I don't know.
I'm
That
not getting your question well. You want to
okay.
customize the rooms,
I'm saying
like
that
how? Which
they
rooms?
like I don't know the cell number, but let's say
Mhm.
you have this your cell number FE or FE or D.
Okay. You use any of them. Use any of
Okay,
them.
so let's say D, number of rooms,
Mhm,
and you want to say that
mhm,
anywhere you see a number of room to be 4, add
mhm,
A to it. Anywhere you see
mhm.
room number 3, add B to it. And anywhere you see room number 2, add C to it. Is there a way to customize it so that just like the way the GAC is added, you add
Oh,
it to
okay,
it?
okay, 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 okay. I now get it. That is with the custom formatting. So that one, you
Yes.
go to the custom formatting and do that. So for instance, if I don't want to go into custom formatting now, because when I go there, maybe there will be a lot of questions about it. If I want to add, let's
Oh,
say kilograms, let's say kilograms for instance, to something, you go to the
uh-huh.
number custom formatting. Oh, sorry, format. You go to custom format, okay, and then I don't want to. When I start this, it means I'm going to teach you custom formatting, because custom formatting we
Okay.
have we have four slots. We have uh, the positive numbers, zeros, negative numbers, and then the text. So there's a way of doing all these. Okay, so I can just say, okay, uh, zero, or let's say zero, and then I'll put maybe kilograms.
Mm,
So, oh, sorry. So if I enter any number, it will add kilograms to it. You see that?
okay.
So let me delete it and type the number again. Let's say if I type 8, it will add kilograms to it. So that is with the custom formatting. So you go to format cells. For now, let me give you the simple way. You select the custom formatting, then you enter zero, then you bring the quotes, a string, let's say quotes, then you put the unit you want to be added. That is the kg. I've left a space in front of or at the back of the K so that it will separate it from the number. And then you press OK. Okay. So you see that. So
Wow.
that is with the custom formatting. So anything I type in this particular cell, it will just add the kilograms to it. And it doesn't mean that you cannot work with this. This one you can multiply by anything and it will still work. You can use it to do mathematics, it will still work. So you maybe when you come to operations, you understand it better.
All right.
Okay, so
Thank you
that
very
is
much,
that
sir.
is welcome, welcome. So we have alignment too. With the alignment, we also have it here at the home tab. You see alignment there. You see alignment there. Please, if you don't have the data, just get any data and then do try to imitate what we are doing here. It's just about getting a data and then trying to format it. You can even type it yourself. You can type a number and use only one cell for it. So don't worry yourself about the data here. Okay, so we want to use the alignment. With the alignment, it's still about the look of the text. So I want to select this thing. A yellow color, I don't like it. Let me change it to something nicer. All right. Then change the text color to, let's say, white. All right. Now the alignment, we have left align, center, and right align. Those who have been using Word, this is not new. So we want center. Then we select center. Now we have learned how to adjust columns. I don't know if we remember. We adjust columns by going to the header names of the columns. That is the A, B, C, D there. And then you place your cursor at the intersection or where the B and the C or whatever column you want to adjust, whether it's C or D, where they intersect. You place your cursor there and it will turn to two black headed arrows, one to the left, one to the right. Then you click and drag to open it up, or you click and drag to close it up. Whichever way you want it, you can do it that way. So in Excel, you should be particular about the movement of your mouse. You see that the mouse pointer, when I bring it here, it has changed to something else. Here, it has changed to something else. When it is on the sheet, it changes to something else. When I bring it here, it changes to something else. It is here and it has changed to another thing. So it depends on where you are. The mouse pointer will respond to that particular activity. I bring it here, you see that my mouse has turned to four black headed arrows. So I can just click and drag header around. I can drag it anywhere. Okay, this one, I think I can drag it here. So you see, I can drag it anywhere. I can bring it back. So that is how the mouse is used. But someone will also try to move it, and then the mouse is like this white, and then you click and you drag, and it's not working. You see something like this. You try it, and it will not work. So you have to be particular about the mouse pointer on your Excel sheet. So let's enough of that. So let's expand these ones. When you want them to auto fit, you just double click. When you get to the intersection, you double click and it will auto fit. So I'm just doing auto fit here. Okay. Okay. So I think my table is becoming nicer. Okay, my table is becoming nice. Okay, so this is with the alignment. So we have centered it. We can also there are some other tools at the top here. You can see top align, middle align, and then bottom align. For now, if I select these cells and I apply it here, you not see it. You not see the effect until I do something like this. So I want to drag this down. So I've opened this cell wider, and you see that the text are below here. You see that the boxes are wider than the text. Now, when I select the text and I select middle, you see the text has been aligned to the middle of the cells. So these ones are used when the cells are wider than the text, so that it will be aligned in the middle or the bottom or at the top. So you can practice that one too and see. And then we can also turn the text from here. We can turn the text in an angle like this. So here you can turn it any way you want it. You can turn the text. Sometimes maybe there's a data that has to contain only some numbers. For instance, this place we have 2, 1, whatever. You want to close up the cell or the column so that it will look smaller like this. But I still want people to see the header. Then you can turn them like that. Okay. So that one is here at the alignment area. Okay. And all these things can also be found when we go to cell formatting, the dialog box. So let's select the whole thing, go to cell formatting. We have alignment here and we can apply it here. We have the horizontal alignment and then the vertical alignment. Okay, so the vertical alignment is the one that we were talking about. We were just talking about vertical. That means top to down or down to top. And then the horizontal is from left to right. So you can use that one too. And then we have uh, wrap text, shrink to fit. With the wrap text, it is used to make sure that the text, so even if I close it again, you see that it is still wrapping it down. It doesn't want to extend to the other side. So it will still wrap it downwards. That is how wrap text works. So if you are creating a table for someone or um, your boss, that is how you can use these tools. Okay. Let's go to format cells again. Now we have fonts. We have talked about font already. So when you come here, it is here. You can still see fonts here. You can play around the fonts. And then there's this particular one, the border. A lot of people don't know how to use the border because the border applies in a context. Okay, so we are going to design our table nicely. I want to align this back. Okay, good. Okay, so I want to apply border lines. Now you see that Excel has grid lines. These grid lines, when you print your data, you will not see these lines unless maybe you command the printer to reveal the grid lines. But mostly when you are printing under normal circumstances, the grid lines don't print. So you have to apply border lines to them. So the border lines, if I want to apply border lines, when you come to the home tab, you see that there's something here. We have borders. You can apply the border lines around anything, any cell or group of cells. So let's start with a cell. When you select a cell, one cell, and you go to align, we have align bottom. If you select align bottom, it will put the border at the bottom. If you select top, it will put it at the top, left, right, no border. And we can also have all borders, it means everywhere. And then we can also have outside borders, that is at the extremes. With the all borders, if you have, let's say, selected more than one cell, in between all the cells will be, it will apply borders to all the cells, all the lines. But with the outside borders, it applies to only the outward line. That is with the outside borders. And then we have other border styles below here. So if we are dealing with one cell, it is easy. But when the moment you select a group of cells and you go here, you select all bodies. Look at what happened. Now it has applied the bodies to all of them. But if it was one cell, you wouldn't see this effect that much. You would just see it around only one cell. So this is how we can apply bodies to a group of cells. So let me remove this one and then apply it to my table. So I want to apply borders to my table. So I select the whole table. Let me try to select some of it. And then go to borders, select all borders. Now your data has applied, the borders has been applied to your data. And look at how nice our data is now looking. Please, I don't like the font type. Let me change it back to, let's say, Times New Roman. Okay. Hey, Times New Roman, is it like that? Oh, okay, I've italicized it. Okay, okay. Okay, so let me reduce the font size a little. Okay, so yeah, my data is now looking nicer. So the data came raw like that with no uh, heading style. Yeah. So now look at the header titles. You see that it's looking outstanding. It looks different from the data itself. And we have also applied border lines, and the data is looking a little bit professional in a way. So that is with the border lines. We have a more advanced way of applying borders, and that one is when we come to formatting the cells. So you go to this dialog box, and then you come to border, and you see a border, should I say a border preview here. And this one will tell you where to apply a border, where not to apply. You can apply it to maybe the top and down, or the side and side, or whichever way. You see that this one is displaying only text. It means I've selected only one cell. So where is it? I've selected only one cell. If I select a group of cells, it will be different. When I come to the the same place, border, you see, I see four text here. It means we will have the lines in between and then the lines outside the selected cell. So the selected cells have outward lines and then inward lines. So if you want to deal with the outward lines, here is it. So you can select and say, okay, let the top outward line be off, or you can say the middle or inside, the horizontal lines should be off. Whichever way you want it, you can do it, and then it will apply to that. So that one you can play around it and then see how best you can create your data. Um, then we have the fill. With the fill, I think we have already talked about it. It is also here at the top here, home, and then you can see the fill. When you come to the dialog box too, we have fill here. You can select colors, any color you want, even patterns. You can select it and then use it. Okay, so from there, then we have the protection. With the protection, I don't know if we will talk about the the protection, the Excel protecting our workbook. I don't know if we will talk about it, but if you are going to protect your book workbook, automatically Excel locks all cells. Automatically, it locks all cells when you put a password on your file or on your workbook. When you lock it, you can't use any cell. But then if you want some cells to be editable or you can type in things even if you have locked your cell, then you should select those cells and come here and deselect this so that you not see that locked is marked. So by default, when you come here, you see that locked is marked. You can see that this cell is locked. But if you want to open it, you just open it. As for now, you will not see any effect. You will not see anything. You know, nothing will be applied. You will not see anything here until you lock your Excel sheet. When you lock it, you see that it will be only that cell you can edit or you can type in data. So that is with the protection. So I think with the cell formatting, I've tried my best to make it. I will summarize it in a way. I don't know if there's any question on the cell formatting. I've rushed through it because we haven't started today's lesson. So with the operations, now let's delve into formulas. Now with the Excel formulas, it is should I say it is Excel formulas are user defined. What the user will what define to Excel, they are the formulas. And the functions are the predefined ones that is in Excel already. And then you go and fetch it and use it. But the formulas are the ones that the user, you will create, then you use it in Excel. So we are going to perform some operations in Excel. Excel is more or less like a calculator tool. So in Excel, whenever you want to type a formula, all our lives, we have been learning mathematics this way. 2 plus 2 equals 4, or 3 plus whatever equals that. But in Excel, equals to rather comes first before the whatever expression that will come. So in Excel, if I start typing, it doesn't see it as formula. But immediately I press equals or I start with the equal to, Excel automatically detects it as whatever you type at the end of the equal to sign is a formula. So you can use Excel to add numbers. So for instance, if I want to add 4 and 5, I can just press 4 plus 5 and then press enter. It will give me the answer. So this one, I've created my first formula. You write equal to 4 plus 5. In our basic school or in school, we normally write 4 plus 5 equals 9. But in this case, we write equals rather 4 plus 5. So we can do it for um, subtraction, 9 minus 8, it will give us 1. If I do for division, so division we use the backslash, so equals 9 divided by, let's say, 3. So we use the backslash symbol, and that is it here. Please, whenever you type anything in a cell, it appears in the formula bar. This is our formula bar. Whatever you type, it appears here. So no need for you to struggle trying to edit formulas in the cells. You can come to the formula bar and then edit so that everything will be easy for you. We can also multiply numbers like 9, or why am I using 9 alone? So 12, then the multiplication we use star. So 12 star 5 equals 60. So in Excel, we are using, we can use plus, we can use minus, we can use backslash, we can use star. And I think we can use, is it caret? Caret. Yeah, yeah. You can use caret too. Excel doesn't want to accept what I've typed here. Okay, so you can use all these in Excel. So I've shown you the multiplication symbol. We don't use the times as we know normally. Now we use times, or let's say X, to represent our multiplication sign. This time around we use star, and then we use backslash for division, and then also we have caret. Let me try that one. I haven't tried that one before. 6 raised to the power 3. Good. Okay, so it works. So we have the caret symbol too, and it is used to for powers of numbers. So 6 to the power 3, and that gives us 216. So these are the basic operations you can use Excel to perform. But this is not what in the real world we are going to use. We will not be typing equals 7 plus 1. No, we are going to reference cells to work. So for instance, if I have a number here and then another number here, and I want to add them, I just type, I want to add them and put it in this cell. So I'll just type equals this cell. I'll just come and click on it. Because you've typed equals, it sees it as a formula. So it will give you the opportunity to go and click on the cell before you add the operation operator plus, then you click the other cell too. So equals F3, in my case, it is equals F3 plus G3. Excel will just take the value inside that cell, F3, and add it to the value in G3. So this is the answer. So it is adding 45 and 54, and we are getting 99. The same way applies to multiplication, division. So we are going to do autofill from here. Let's try to put some numbers here. Let me put some numbers here. Okay. Let me put a number here too. Okay. So if I have this as F3, this side of the mathematics, the addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, and we have been able to use autofill to complete our task. Okay, so now let's try to use some simple formulas here. Now we are going to apply some real world problems here. So let's say they are saying a salesman has some items. So we have some units and then the unit price, and then let's forget about the sale amount, and let's see if we have this number of units and one is this, then what will be the total amount, or the amount we are to receive or to pay. Okay, so we are going to type a formula here. So I press equal to as usual, and then I go to this. That is okay. That is AS2, okay. And then I multiply it by the unit price. So we are doing multiplication here. We want to see the total number of the total amount we are going to pay for 95 units of television. So we multiply the 95 units by the unit price, and that is what exactly what we are doing here. Then you press enter, and then this is the amount you are going to get. You can do autofill, and it will do the rest for us. So we have understood that one, and this is an example of a data in a real world that you can use this particular simple formula to calculate. So no need to be using calculator for that. Then discount. So let's try to use discount. Let's say something like um, a discount of, let's say, 8% or whatever. So if we take this amount, we press equal to, then the amount times the discount. What is the discount? If the discount is 8%, we can use 0.8, or we can use um 8 over 100. But I want us to apply what we know, or maybe should I say we know or we don't know? We did cell formatting. Now we can format a particular cell with the discount in it, and then we will multiply it with that discount, and then autofill. But because we haven't done relative and absolute cell referencing, I will not really go there. So let's do the traditional way so that later we will talk about the easiest way. So if I press equal to this amount times 0. Let's say 8, and this is giving me the percentage or the discount on it. So this is the discount that you will get, and you can autofill that one too. Then you get the discount on all the transactions or all the amounts. And then I got some interesting uh, exercise here. You see, we have Cake Friday starts. We have children in a class. In class 4C, we have 24 children. 4G, we have 22. 4W, we have 19. 4S, we have 27. And we are saying cakes needed for that particular class. But there's a note here. We have cakes per child should be 3. Cakes per child should be 3. So it means each child should get 3 cakes. Each child should get 3 cakes. And we have 24 children. So mathematically, it means that we will multiply the 3 by the 24. But there's another note here. It says plus add 2 cakes for each class for the teachers. So it means each class, after getting the number of cakes for the children, you have to add 2 cakes for the teachers. So can someone tell us a formula that we can type in here to solve that problem? This is a simple task. Let's
Yes, I
see
want to
if we
try.
can get it. Okay,
Okay, so it will be equal to,
okay.
then you click on cell AH, I don't know, AH8 or AH7, which is the 3.
8, 7. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Then you add 2 to it, plus 2.
Plus 2.
No, 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 no. You first multiply it by 24.
So we multiply it by 24.
24.
So I type
Yes.
24, Uh-huh.
Yes, put this one in brackets, like equal to bracket open
Uh-huh.
AH7 times
So
24
let me go to
bracket
the
close.
formula bar and do that. So
Yes,
you see, I
yes.
should do this. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Then that's all.
Yes, then you add plus 2
Plus two. Okay.
for each class teacher.
All right. So that is the idea of someone or the opinion. So we enter and then we are getting 74. Um, I hope that formula works. So we are having AH7, that is this cakes per child, and then we multiply it by the 24, and then we add 2. So it means we will need 74 cakes in this particular class. Now when you come to the second cell, it means we have to enter the same formula, similar formula. We have to enter this, come here, multiply by 24 again, and then we say plus. The person is saying we should bring brackets, and then we say plus 2. What is happening? Or it's not 24, it's 22 rather. Sorry, it's 22. Okay. So if you do it this way, you are hard, should I say hard coding? You are entering the numbers directly here. You get it? Meanwhile, the numbers are in other cells. You can reference those cells. Okay, we can reference those cells. So I can just type equals, and then I can say 3, this one, times, then the one at the top,
Alright, can you please
and then
see that we need one with
please, the person should mute himself. Yes. And then we say plus 2. Yes. So this is what we are going to get. But when I was typing this, I remembered something. We have um, something called order of operations. In Excel, when you type and then you don't bring your brackets, it will consider the highest, should I say, it will consider, um, if it is multiplication, it will consider multiplication first before it will come to addition and subtraction. That is how it works. So if you type something and you are thinking Excel will do it the way you want it to do. For instance, if you type equals 6 minus 7 plus 4, maybe times 3. This one, maybe in your head, you want Excel to do 6 minus 7, then it should add the 4 before it multiply the result by 3. But Excel will not do that. It will rather multiply 4 and 3, come and subtract 7 from 6, and then add it to 4 times 3, the answer for 4 and 3. So it means we are going to get 12 plus, is it -1, which is 11. That is what it should give you. So we are getting 11 here. Okay. Meanwhile, that is not the answer you want. You want Excel to say 6 minus 7, and that is -1, plus 4, which is uh, 3, and then 3 times 3 should give you 9. You want the result to be 9, not 11. But Excel is giving you 11 because you didn't prioritize the operators. You didn't say, okay, do this operation before you do this. So you just put it there raw, and Excel will just choose the ones, the multiplication first, come to the additions next. That is how it will work. So if I want it the way I said, 6 minus 7 plus 4, before it multiplies by 3, then I'll put bracket around it. I'll put the bracket around the ones I want it to work first, and then multiply by 3, so that I'll get my 9. So I have my 9 day. That is how Excel works with the order of operations. So if you are doing some mathematics with your Excel, you have to be careful about that. The usage of the brackets and all that. Okay, so uh, with that said, um, I will try to skip this one because we are going to talk about relative and absolute cell referencing so that we can what relative and absolute reference so that we can use it to solve this particular problem. You see that someone said, and we have typed it in our first cell that AH7 times 24, then we put it in bracket plus 2. We can use relative and absolute cell referencing for the first one, and then we can just do autofill, and it will work perfectly with each class. You see that each class has a different number of children 24, 22, 19, 27. They have different number of children. And so if we use the absolute or relative cell referencing for the first cell, it can automatically do for all of them. But with our current formula, if we do autofill, it will not work. So for instance, if I do autofill for this, it will not work. You see that we are getting 2 here. It is not working for us because we are refusing to use the absolute and whatever cell referencing. Okay, so that is what I'm going to talk about. So please pay attention with this one because you that is what you'll be using almost throughout our journey in Excel. You will be using absolute cell referencing, relative cell referencing all throughout. Now, what is absolute cell reference? What is relative cell referencing? Really, I am not going to define anything here. We are just going to practice it so that you see the difference. When I say something is relative to something, it means that it changes according to something. Maybe, and that is the simplest way I can explain. It means it changes according to something. So that is relative. So if I want to reference some cells here. I have some numbers here. I want to reference them relatively to some cells here. Then I can just press equal to here and then say, okay, let cell A6 be the same as A1. I press enter. Now, if I do autofill from here to here, see what happens. It makes sure that it will adjust, it will change the formula here. You see that this one is A1. When you come here is B1. It is changing it relative to whatever is here. So when I bring it down to the same thing, when I bring it down 4 steps, okay, it is the same thing here. That one too, it takes this one. So it works relatively to whatever is here. But maybe that is not what I want. So this is the relative cell referencing. And then another one is that relative cell referencing, if I press equals, let's say this plus that, and I equal to, so 16. Now, if I copy this and I come and place it here, look at something. When it was here, we added this and that. So when I place it here, it will automatically say, okay, this plus this cell. That is, so let me paste it here. It will say this cell plus this cell. Now let's go to it and see the formula. It says E1 plus F1. So E1 plus F1. It is looking at exactly what you did here, and then it will do the same thing at wherever you put the cell, the answer. So I have say, this place, it is saying A1, B1. So if I place it here too, it will still reference this and that. So it is referencing it relatively to where I put the answer. or I put the formula. And that is relative cell referencing. Okay, I think I have been able to explain that one. And then with the absolute cell referencing, we use the dollar sign to block a row or a column from changing. So for instance, what I did in the beginning, that if I add this and that, and I want to copy and paste it here, I don't want it to change. I don't want it to change. I want the same answer, and it is referencing the same A1, B1. Then what I am supposed to do is go to the cell and then place my cursor in between the A1, the A and the 1, and press F4. You see that it has indicated a dollar sign before the A and after the A. It means that whatever is in A that we referenced, when I move the cell, it should still remain constant. It shouldn't change A1. It should always be referenced to A1. And then B1 will change. But if I also change this one to absolute, that one will not change. So this time around, let's copy it again. When I copy and I paste it somewhere here, you see that the 16 is still working. Oh, okay, when you come here, you see that, oh, A1, B1 is still A1, B1. So that is the absolute cell referencing. That is the absolute cell referencing. And it's not always trying to block A1, A and 1. You can block even only the column. So let's say when you play and I send it across columns, the column will change relatively. So this is relative, the column is relative, but the row is absolute. So if I move this to a different column, it will also change, but the row will still remain at row 1. That is what it means at row 1. Okay. And when you block the column and you leave the row, it is the row that will change. So let's try it. So let me copy this, place it here, and see what happens. When I place it here is 0. When you look at the column, see that it has changed to E. Okay, so E, but it's still row 1. Okay, so when I copy the same thing, so someone will say maybe because we are still on the same row, so let's come down to a different row. So we have come to a different row, but we are still in the same column. Because we copied in the same column and put in the same at the same column, we haven't changed columns. It is still in the same column. And then we have moved across rows. So as you are moving across rows, it's supposed to change, but because we don't want the rows to change, we have blocked it. And then the column will continue to remain the same since we are in the same column. But if I move to the next column, it will change. So it is about you trying to restrict it. Okay, if I move to the column, don't change. If I move to across rows, don't change. That it depends on you. So that is with this absolute, and this it has changed. So it changes according to the number of people in the class at any particular point in time. Okay. So when we are done with this, we cannot just do autofill. It's still not working. So for us to do the autofill so that everything will work according to the class, because this class they are 22, they are not 50. So you can't say here too will be 152. No, it must work dynamically with all classes. And what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to use the absolute or the relative cell referencing. Now, if I start moving across this line, I am still in the same row, but I'm changing columns. So AH7, if I move to this column, it's supposed to move to AI7. Is it AA7? Okay. Okay, so AA7 is this one rather. Sorry. And then AH4 is this one. Good. So AH7 is this three. Now, when we are moving across columns and that AH7 is changing, it means it will be changing from out from this three. Meanwhile, we want to always use the three for all of them. That means this particular cell must be absolute when we are referencing it here. So A87 must be absolute. So we press F4 and then we block everything. Now we have AH4. I want to know how we should deal with the numbers here. Should we block one of the column or the row, or we should block all? How do we go about it? Can someone share his or her idea about that? If you want to, we want to do autofill here. This one, because the data is only four, you would think, oh, this one there, you can even just type them manually. What if the data is huge? You have thousands of data, and then you want to apply this particular formula to all of them. You cannot be typing all of these. You have to make sure that you devise a formula which you can do autofill and it will fill everything automatically. So what are we going to do to this H4? Do we maintain it like that and drag across? Is it going to work? So let's try to do that one and see. So we are just trying it so that we see how it works. We drag across. Is it working? Yes, because we are not moving across columns. So even if we don't lock the column, it is still in the same column. So it will work. If I move to this cell, you see that it says AI4. AI4 is this one. When you move here, it is AJ4. When you move here, it is AK4. So it is referencing the cells according to the column you are in, but the row is still row 4. It will not change. But the situation will change, or the narrative will change when you are coming down. When you come down, it will change. The whatever is here will change. Meanwhile, maybe you want it to maintain the row number. Then it means that you have to lock only the row, because you'll be moving across rows and you don't want the row to change. Then you block the row. So that is how we can use uh, the absolute cell referencing in this particular instance. I think the exercise is here, or where is it? Or it's here. Good. With the cell formatting, there was an exercise. Just that because we couldn't do it last week, I can't give it to the class for you to. So let's do this one. This one is a menu order, and then we are going to calculate the price, and then we are going to calculate the, should I say, the sale tax, and then the total. The sale tax, the sales tax, the percentage is what, 8% here, and we are going to calculate it here, and then calculate it on the value, and then add it. So we calculate the sale tax on it, and then we add it to it. That is the tax. Then the total will be here. So we try to calculate the sale tax from here by entering. So let me delete this from there. So we press equals, and then we multiply this by that. When we multiply, we are going to get the total, but we don't need the total. We want the sale tax. It means 8% of the amount. And this N18 times O18 is going to give me the amount rather. So I want to find 8% of the amount. I don't know if this one is confusing. I want to find 8% of the amount. Let me delete it and explain it well. If I have a number, let's say this, I want to calculate 8% of it. Let's say 100, then times 8%. So 8%, 80% of 100 is what? 80. So we reference this particular cell. And when we do autofill, it will also try to move downwards. So the next formula, instead of Q16, it will now move to Q17. See, Q17. But Q17, whatever is there is just a text. And we are multiplying a number by a text. Imagine what Excel will see. So this is what it is giving out. It is yelling at us. Okay. Then we come to the next one. It will move to kill 18. So it tries to multiply it by whatever is here. This is a blank cell. So these are all multiplying blank cells. That's why we are having this. So that is correct. So it means that we have to make sure whatever we are multiplying this by this. So this should remain constant. If it should remain constant, then we should take absolute cell reference of it and then press enter. As for this times that, it should be changing. This times this, the next row, it should be this and that. So that one, we will not be uh, taking absolute of them. We should leave them so that they will be moving to the next one. So if I do autofill, look at it. It works fine. So you see the benefit of this absolute cell referencing. Now the total is going to be equals, I don't know if someone can help me with the formula here. How are you going to get the total? We want the amount plus the tax. So that should give us the total. So we want the amount plus the tax. What should be the formula here? Then we do autofill. Can someone help us here?
Okay, let me try.
It looks like K Caps is the only person talking here.
So, hello.
Yes, yes, Mr. Kwesi, please, let's hear from you. K Caps,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, I want others to also participate.
So, I think it's
No problem. All correct,
um,
sir.
price times the quantity. Uh, I don't know what the cell numbers are, so I'm just using the headings. So, be equal to
Please come
price.
again. You said
It will be equal to price times
price
quantity times
price times
quantity.
the quantity. Okay, times the
Um,
quantity.
those two be in brackets, then plus sales tax.
Mhm. So they should be in brackets
Yes. Then
plus
plus the sales tax.
sales tax
Yes, please.
like this.
Yes.
Okay, then you press enter. All
Yeah.
right. So I think that is it. Can we do autofill or there should be something, some absolute cell referencing somewhere?
I think the absolute referencing has been done already, so we can do to follow.
So this one you can just autofill. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is great. That is very great. So this is how it will look like. So don't panic for seeing this hash hash sign. It means that the number there is not is more than the cell size or the column size. So you can extend it so that you see the numbers.
Yes, please. I have a problem with the locking of the cells. I'm not getting that place
Okay.
clear.
The absolute cell referencing.
Yes, please.
Okay. So I said with the absolute cell referencing, we use the dollar sign to lock it. So I don't know which parts you really want me to explain. But let me try my best to uh, explain it in a simpler way. I'm saying if you type a formula like this, let's say I'm referencing this particular thing, and I have this Q18. You see, in Excel, you will be copying, pasting. Sometimes you want a particular formula to be repeated in another part of this Excel sheet. Sometimes you want it to remain the same. The formula should remain the same. Sometimes you want it to work according to, or it should be relative to whatever you have done at the other side. Other than that, our work will be very cumbersome. Sometimes you want to uh, do copy and paste so that Excel will automatically adjust the formulas for you without you entering the formulas all by yourself. Sometimes you just type only one formula and you can use it to do a lot of things. So if I am saying that this cell is the same as whatever is in this cell, when I copy this and I place it somewhere here, this is what will happen. It is now giving me 74.20. Excel is intelligently trying to read according to the from this point. Excel read, oh, okay, from this point, and where did I reference to? You reference this cell. Okay, it means I move one step up, then to the left. So if I paste it here, it will also move one step up, then to the left, and get the answer for you. And that is relative cell referencing. It intelligently looks at it and then reference it the same way you reference it in the previous one. But maybe that is not what
Okay.
you want. Maybe that is not what you want. So you want it to be in such a way that when I move the cell, you see, one thing is that when you are moving downwards in a column, you haven't changed columns. You are still in the same column. So in this case, I'm still in the same column. Okay. So if I am trying to move a cell from here to here, I'm copying from here to here. Okay, you see that my Q here is Q18. Here too is Q22. They are still in Q. It hasn't changed. Although I haven't applied any restriction that it should be absolute column. But because I'm still in the same column, automatically it knows that you are still in the same column. So no need to change. But immediately you copy the same thing and you move across a column. That is when the column will change. But maybe I still want the column to maintain in Q, but the rows I don't want it to be maintained or whatever. Then I lock that particular with pressing F4. You see that it has locked everything together. When you press it again, it locks only the row. When you press it again, it locks only the column. So if you lock a column, it means that when I copy this and I place it across a column, so when I move to the left or to the right, I'm moving across columns and the queue will still remain. And the queue will still remain. So if I copy this and I move to a different column and paste it, it's still queue, it's still queue, but I am still on the same row. That is why I'm still getting the 74.20. But if I move to another row, it will change because I'm moving across rows. And the row, I haven't restricted it. I'm saying the row can be relative to wherever I'm pasting it. Okay, this same thing applies to autofill and all that. So I don't know if that one will be clear, but for now, let's concentrate on only the absolute for all the or for both columns and rows. So if you want to lock a cell, the columns and rows, you just press F4 and it will lock both so that the value will still remain. Sorry, the value will still remain the same way. So Q22 will still remain even if I copy it anywhere in the worksheet. If I copy it here, it's still 74. If I copy it here, I paste it, it's still the same 70, whatever. It's still the same thing. Wherever I paste it, it's still the same thing. So that is the absolute cell referencing. It means that whatever I reference, please don't change it. Wherever I find my formula there, it should be the same. That is the absolute. And then the relative says that when you move me, I'll move according to my previous movement. That is the relative one.